Flags and myths. We're here at the WPAA to discuss the myths, history, and facts about America's most notable flag, the US of A flag.
It's important to note that it's not actually correct to call it the American flag because America is the continent from Alaska down to Argentina, and it's technically incorrect to call it the American flag because it's the entire continent, not the country.
Like the first time I saw the flag, I think it was about I was 6 years old. I was first in, I think it was either kindergarten or Cub Scouts, and we were just going through and doing like the normal things, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And whatnot. With that, the flag kind of felt like this like untold piece of history that kind of radiated. It just felt like it had that kind of vibe to it.
Most people in the United States have had some experience with the flag, most likely with school, where like you say, like you start off the day with the Pledge of Allegiance. You're like looking at this flag. It might be attending, like, say, a veteran's funeral. It might be putting flags in the headstones of people who have died in combat or passed away sometime after their service. You might see it in parades. You might see it, or just really in like a store, or really anywhere in the United States. A symbol of who we are as a nation. Like, we're not just one group of people, we're people from all over the place. We're not just one single group, we're a mix of everything.
Yeah. For me, my first experiences was probably when I was around 3-ish. I remember sitting in parades and like watching the flags go by and stuff like that, and just thought that it's a cool flag. And now that I get older, I'm realizing, wow, that is a great flag, because I wouldn't be here if that flag wasn't connected to other parts of history. Korean, American, and a whole bunch of other nations helped fight to keep South Korea free, and I believe that's a great that's how I see the flag, a sign of freedom.
When I first saw the flag, I think it was in kindergarten, and everyone was just standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I had no idea what to do. And then the teacher's like, "Oh, stand up and put your hand on your heart." I'm like, "Oh, what is this?" And then as I grew up, I realized, like, oh, this is such a big symbol for our people, and I really respect the amount of respect that the flag gets, and it's just like such a big part of our history, and I don't know where we would be without it.
I mean, I agree with exactly what you said. When I first saw the flag, I was definitely younger. With my father being a retired cop, you know, the flag holds a lot of symbolism for me and anyone who's on the front lines, really. Especially with the pledge, it's just where our flag came from and all the respect that surrounds it.
Yeah, my first experience with the flag was definitely in pre-K. I do hold respect for what the flag represents with freedom and the right to be able to decide how you want to spend your life. I feel like that should be what this flag should represent, the ability to choose who you want to be and what you want to do.
Being a bit older than you guys, I mean, the flag was always around in my house, veteran families and stuff like that, and it's just good to hear like how you guys see it. Like, that's like what I was raised to think about the flag as well. These days things become a bit more complicated, but I still think it's supposed to be, we're all here together, we're all supposed to work together to keep things working in a good and a positive way.
The long amount of history that the flag has had, it's kind of just felt like its own little like token of what,
or like a snapshot of like the time periods, because like it's like the United States flag didn't look exactly the same as it did today. Like before,
yeah, absolutely.
Like what was once 13 stars, 13 stripes, then became 15 stars, 15 stripes, and then eventually moved back down to 13 stripes to remember the 13 original colonies that became the first states we had. Then eventually we went from the Atlantic to Pacific to Alaska, Hawaii, all the way Pacific, certain parts of the Caribbean. As we expanded, as our country turned into more as it was today, when like more people gained the right to vote, we're still here almost 250 years later.
I feel like adding on to that, all the way back from what Sam said, America is such a wild thing because we're some of the newer countries. I mean, all the way back from when we were still a part of Britain and we originally broke off, it was nobody has ever done that before. What are we doing? How are we going to go forth about this? So the flag, it just represents how amazing America is in showing how many cultures could come together and how many ideas could be shared and executed really well.
I definitely see what you were saying with America being basically a big experiment, for lack of a better term.
Our founders didn't necessarily know like everything about what we were doing. For them, it was basically just, how do we make sure that this place doesn't fall apart when we're gone?
Yeah, it was like Bella said, like we had no idea what we were doing and no one had ever done this before. After we finally were able to do it, then France came and they decided to get their independence too. So I feel like our flag is like a symbol to other countries of like hope.
Well, actually, France was already independent. They just broke away from the monarchy.
Yeah.
It's also crazy to see how like the current design is so old. It was actually made as like a school project by a high school student.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, the student's name was Robert G. Heft. The project was originally made in a history class. When Alaska and Hawaii were added to the Union, the U.S. decided to host a competition.
Actually, for a while, we didn't even have like an official design. Like a lot of arrangements of stars weren't technically the same. Like you might have seen ones where it's like more circular, other ones look a lot more similar to the one we have. I'm pretty sure it wasn't really until the 48 star flag before, like the one we were using before Alaska and Hawaii joined, where we actually had a specific like orientation for the stars. When the 15 star flag was created, we had 15 stripes.
Another interesting fact is that the patch on the U.S. Scout uniform is actually facing the wrong way for like compared to servicemen, where the stars and stripes are supposed to face forward. It's just to represent that the stars always are marching forward and never facing back. But
I think a good word to describe the flag, unique, I think. Off of symbolism, it would probably be heroism.
So I would say the main thing main word I would think of when I think about our flag is probably inspiring.
Pride. We're so proud to be like a part of like this community where this is our flag. The people who like broke apart from Britain, they sacrificed, and this is what we have to show that, and like I'm just so proud to be a part of it.
one word that I think of is freedom. Freedom to worship whoever you want, freedom to join the army, freedom to meet in public, and like stands for like the basic principles of like what we built this country for.
Yeah.
Another word that kind of goes along with what you guys are saying is like special. We are so special to be able to have those laws in place and having it so we can't have our voices be taken away. And we're able to do the things that we do, and that's what makes America just so special and unique.
Hopeful for what the future holds for us and this country, this great nation.
Actually stole the word I was going to use. So I'm going to have it on my second place word now. Accountability. Because it's like throughout our history, we've had all the things that we've had like with our good times and bad times, but ultimately our freedom is something which we must be held accountable for, with preserving and treating people with respect and making sure that we preserve those things for ourselves. So.
Yeah, I would say with freedom definitely does come responsibility and accountability, because like you should be able to have the freedom to do whatever you want, but you should also be like make sure that you aren't using that freedom to abuse the rights of others.
Celebration of Flag Day. We're going to be going through and exploring some flag myths.
Flag has always had stars and stripes. Betsy Ross created the first flag. Americans have always flown the flag.
Red, white, and blue have official meanings. It's against the law to burn a flag. It's illegal to wear clothing bearing the flag.
A flag that touches the ground must be destroyed. The flag should never be flown at night. Only a veteran's coffin can be draped with the U.S. flag.
The flag must always be folded into a triangle for storage, and a flag with fewer than 50 stars should not be flown. Students are required to salute the flag or recite the Pledge of Allegiance in school.
U.S. flags always must fly higher than any other flag. Fringe on the flag indicates martial law.
Sources for this myths were found AARP's website under the section of Politics, Society, and History as of 2020.
Yeah, I definitely learned some new things.
I never heard about retiring a flag, and then especially by like burning it. because when I hear about burning the American flag, my first thought is the Supreme Court case.
Thanks guys for coming to us to share your information about the myths about the flag and your personal experience